Your vibrational state shapes your reality. The majority of people are fundamentally misunderstanding the process of creation. They believe they can change their external reality while maintaining the same internal state. They chase after outcomes, visualize goals, and repeat affirmations, all while their vibrational frequency remains unchanged. And then they wonder why their reality stays the same, despite all their efforts. If the entire manifestation process has been misunderstood, what if it's not about what you do, but about the energetic state from which you're doing it? The challenge isn't that you lack power to create. It's that you've been taught to focus on actions rather than the vibrational state that precedes all action. Everything in existence is energy vibrating at different frequencies, including what quantum physicists call the quantum field, an infinite matrix of pure potential. This field doesn't respond to your wishes, your vision boards, or even your actions directly. It responds exclusively to your vibrational state, the energetic frequency you're broadcasting through your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Most people approach reality creation through effort, pushing, striving, working harder. But the quantum field doesn't operate on effort. It operates on resonance. When your internal frequency matches what you desire, you don't need to chase it. This fundamental shift changes everything. Creation isn't about doing, it's about being. Your vibrational state is what shapes every aspect of your reality. Quantum physics reveals something profound through the observer effect. Particles exist as waves of potential until observed, at which point they collapse into definite form. This same principle applies to your reality. When you observe life through a high vibrational state, those waves collapse into experiences that match that frequency. But when you observe from low vibrational states like fear or lack, those same waves collapse into experiences reflecting those lower frequencies. The difference isn't in what's possible, it's in the frequency from which you're observing. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below about how you've noticed your emotional state affecting your experiences. And if you're finding value in these insights, consider subscribing to join our community of conscious creators, learning to harness the power of vibrational alignment. Imagine your relationship with reality like tuning a radio. Most people spend their lives frantically turning the dial, catching brief moments of the frequency they want, an occasional manifestation, a synchronicity, before losing the signal again. Here's the impossibility. You cannot force a radio to play a specific station by pushing harder on the buttons or by wanting it more intensely. The elegant solution is simple. You must match your internal vibrational frequency to the frequency of what you desire. When you do this, you don't have to seek, chase, or struggle. What you want comes to you naturally because you're vibrationally aligned with it. That's what reality creation is. Not forcing outcomes through action, but tuning your vibrational state to match what you wish to experience. Neville Goddard understood this principle deeply when he taught about the feeling of the wish fulfilled, recognizing that it's the emotional frequency, the feeling state of already having what you desire, that draws it into your experience. Joe Dispenza speaks about this same principle when he teaches that you must become so present to your new chosen reality that the body believes it's already happened. He calls this creating an elevated emotion independent of circumstances. Abraham Hicks refers to this as getting into the vortex, that state of vibrational alignment where what you desire can flow easily into your experience. These teachers, using different terminology from different backgrounds, are all pointing to the same fundamental truth. Your reality shapes itself around your vibrational state, not your actions. Why is this simple truth so difficult for most people to implement? Because the ego is terrified of simplicity. The ego wants complexity, steps, strategies, things it can control and manage. Our culture has conditioned us to believe that value comes from struggle, that transformation requires pain, that we must earn everything through hard work and effort. We've been taught that the more we want something, the harder we should work for it. But here's the paradox. The more you strain to achieve something from a state of lack or need, the more you energetically affirm its absence in your life. By focusing on the gap between where you are and where you want to be, you broadcast the frequency of not having, and the quantum field, which responds to your energetic state, simply returns more experiences that match that frequency. The version of reality you desire isn't some distant future waiting to be created. It already exists right now in the quantum field. Quantum physics describes this through superposition, the principle that particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously until observed. Your desired reality exists in superposition with your current reality, along with countless other possibilities. Your job isn't to create that reality through force or effort. It's to collapse the wave function through your focused attention and aligned vibrational frequency. You're not trying to make something happen. You're allowing a potential that already exists to manifest in your experience. This shift from forcing to allowing, from creating to collapsing, is what transforms reality creation from a struggle into a natural expression of who you are being. Most people approach manifestation mechanically. They recite affirmations, create vision boards, practice gratitude, all while their vibrational frequency remains unchanged. These practices aren't inherently wrong, but they often become empty gestures, disconnected from any real energetic shift. If you're affirming abundance while feeling fear about your finances, you're sending mixed signals to the field. If you're visualizing your dream relationship while feeling unworthy of love, you're creating energetic interference. This is why so many people say, "I tried manifestation and it didn't work." There's a profound difference between saying you are something and actually being it vibrationally. Affirmations without vibrational alignment are just empty words. Visualization without emotional resonance is just daydreaming. The science behind vibrational manifestation is more substantial than most realize. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that every thought produces an electrical charge in the brain, and every feeling produces a magnetic field through the heart. Together, they create your electromagnetic signature, the unique frequency you broadcast to the quantum field. This isn't mystical thinking. It's based on the measurable electromagnetic fields produced by the brain and heart. Your thoughts and feelings aren't just subjective experiences. They're actual energy with specific frequencies that interact with the field around you. This is why the quantum field doesn't respond to your wishes or desires, or even your words. It responds to your electromagnetic signature, your vibrational state. The field doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are vibrationally broadcasting. Let's use a concrete example: relationships. Many people try to attract loving partnerships while vibrating at frequencies of unworthiness, past hurt, or fear of abandonment. They go on dates, use dating apps, attend social events, all the right actions, but their vibrational state tells a different story. This creates a disconnect between what they say they want and what they're energetically broadcasting. To attract loving relationships, you must embody the vibrational frequency of love, the security, openness, and warmth that characterize healthy connections. When someone vibrating at the frequency of love looks at their current circumstances, they feel appreciation rather than desperation, regardless of their relationship status. This coherence between desire and vibrational state is what allows manifestation to flow without obstruction. Your vibrational state is intimately connected to neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. When you consistently practice embodying the emotional frequency of your desired reality, you're actually rewiring your brain to match that reality. Through mental rehearsal, vividly imagining experiences with all your senses while generating the corresponding emotions, you create new neural pathways as if you've actually had those experiences. Research in neuroplasticity shows that the brain doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and an actual one. This is how top athletes improve through visualization, and how people heal faster when they imagine robust health. When done correctly, your body begins to believe the future you desire has already happened, producing biochemical changes that align your physical state with your imagined reality. Reality creation is not about asking the universe for favors or trying to bend circumstances to your will. It's not about manipulating external conditions to match your desires. Instead, it's about aligning your vibrational state with the frequency of what you wish to experience. The universe isn't a genie waiting for your commands. It's a mirror reflecting back your dominant vibrational frequency. This reframe changes everything. You stop asking, "How can I get what I want?" and start asking, "What vibrational state would I be in if I already had what I want?" The focus shifts from outside to inside, from acquisition to embodiment. This is why the word resonance is so much more useful than effort when discussing manifestation. You're not trying to reach something outside yourself. You're tuning into a frequency that already exists within the quantum field. Let me simplify quantum superposition. Imagine every possible version of your life exists simultaneously in a state of potential. The version where you're vibrationally aligned with health, wealth, fulfilling relationships, meaningful work, it already exists. These possibilities aren't distant futures waiting to be created. They're present potentials, waiting to be collapsed into experience through your focused observation and vibrational state. In quantum mechanics, it's the act of observation that causes wave functions to collapse into particles with definite properties. Similarly, it's your consistent attention, coupled with your vibrational frequency, that collapses potential realities into your lived experience. This isn't a metaphor, it's a description of how reality functions at its most fundamental level. The quality of your vibrational state determines which potential reality becomes your actual reality. One of the biggest obstacles to effective reality creation is the lack of coherence between the brain and heart. Most people live with mental chaos and emotional incoherence. Their thoughts pull in one direction, while their feelings pull in another. They think about what they want while feeling what they fear. This creates contradictory frequencies that cancel each other out. HeartMath Institute research shows that when the heart and brain enter a state of coherence, when they produce harmonious, synchronized rhythms, the body's systems function optimally and our electromagnetic field becomes more powerful and organized. This coherence is what allows clear communication with the quantum field. Mixed vibrational signals create confused results. Clear, coherent vibrational signals create clear manifestations. Most people never achieve their desires because they're broadcasting static rather than a clear frequency. Your emotional state produces specific biochemicals that affect every cell in your body. When you feel joy, your brain releases dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. When you feel love, you produce oxytocin. These aren't just subjective experiences, they're actual chemical messengers that change your physical state and, by extension, your electromagnetic signature. Negative emotions like fear and anxiety produce stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which create an entirely different physical and energetic state. This biochemistry affects how you perceive reality and how you interact with the quantum field. Your emotional state becomes your point of attraction because it determines your overall vibrational frequency. This is why trying to manifest from a place of fear or desperation rarely works. The biochemistry of those states creates an electromagnetic signature that attracts more experiences that match that frequency. One of the greatest challenges in reality creation is maintaining consistent vibrational alignment with your desired experiences. Most people are energetically inconsistent. They manage to align with their desires for brief periods, only to revert to their habitual frequencies. It's like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to check if it's growing. The constant shifting between vibrational states creates confusion in the field and delays manifestation. This is where the practice aspect of manifestation comes in. Just as you wouldn't expect to play a musical instrument perfectly without practice, you shouldn't expect to maintain perfect vibrational consistency without developing the muscle for it. Vibrational consistency doesn't mean never having negative emotions. It means returning to alignment more quickly each time you're thrown off. The field responds not to momentary states, but to your dominant frequency over time. When your vibrational state stabilizes at the frequency of your desires, reality begins responding in remarkable ways. Synchronicities increase. You notice meaningful coincidences that seem orchestrated. You receive intuitive nudges that lead you to exactly what you need. Opportunities appear that you couldn't have logically orchestrated. People who can help you seem to enter your life at precisely the right moment. Ideas and solutions come to you with surprising clarity. These aren't magical occurrences. They're the natural reorganization of the field in response to your stabilized vibrational frequency. The quantum field is constantly responding to your state of being, arranging circumstances and events that match your dominant vibration. This responsiveness has always been happening. You're just now consciously participating in the process rather than creating by default. At this point, you've transitioned from positive thinking to energetic authorship. You've crossed the bridge from possibility to embodiment. You're no longer just imagining what could be. You're living from what already is at an energetic level. This shift is subtle but profound. Your perception of reality fundamentally changes because you're tuning into different aspects of the quantum field. Events and circumstances that you would have previously overlooked now become apparent because they match your new frequency. It's not that the external world is necessarily changing overnight, though it can. It's that your perception and interaction with reality are transformed. You begin experiencing the version of reality that matches who you're being rather than who you've been. This is the moment when manifestation shifts from something you do to something you experience naturally. Let's be honest, this is where most people get stuck. They intellectually understand the concepts we've discussed, but they struggle with the actual embodiment. Not because they don't believe it's possible, but because they don't know how to bridge the gap between thinking about their desired reality and becoming the person who lives in that reality. There's a profound difference between thinking about love and feeling loving, between contemplating abundance and feeling abundant, between visualizing health and embodying health. The mind can understand concepts, but manifestation happens through the entire being: mind, body, emotions, and energy. This is why people can read dozens of books on manifestation and still struggle to create real change. The missing piece isn't more information, it's embodiment. The full-body, multidimensional experience of being what you desire to manifest. To fully align with your desired reality, you need to access high-frequency emotional states consistently. Research in neuroscience shows that certain emotional states produce gamma-wave coherence in the brain, the fastest brainwave frequency associated with peak performance, heightened awareness, and integration of multiple brain functions. When your brain and heart achieve this coherent gamma state, your nervous system becomes highly receptive to new patterns. Old neural pathways, the physical basis of limiting beliefs and habitual reactions, can be more easily rewired. Your body becomes more responsive to your conscious intentions rather than your unconscious programming. This state of coherence is what spiritual traditions have called enlightenment, flow state, or being in the zone. It's a neurophysiological condition where manifestation becomes effortless because your entire system is unified in its frequency rather than fragmented into conflicting vibrations. You've probably felt that your manifestations take too long, that the gap between setting an intention and seeing results seems insurmountable at times. You may have wondered if you're doing something wrong, if perhaps you're not cut out for this work, or if manifestation only works for certain people. I want you to know that you've always been much closer than you think. The gap has never been between you and your desires. It's been between your habitual vibrational state and the vibrational state that matches your desires. You are not broken. You are not behind. You don't lack the ability to manifest. You've simply been taught an approach that works against the fundamental principles of the quantum field. The power has always been within you. You've just been accessing it in ways that create resistance rather than flow. Let this be the moment when you stop trying and start remembering. The version of you that lives your desired reality already exists. You don't need to create it. You need to embody its vibrational frequency. Imagine stepping fully into that version of yourself right now, not as a future possibility, but as your present reality. Feel the shift in your posture, your breathing, your facial expression. Notice how different thoughts become available to this version of you. Experience how this version of you perceives the same circumstances you're currently facing. This isn't pretending. It's accessing a quantum potential that already exists. This moment of conscious embodiment is a quantum event, a point where you can jump timelines by shifting your dominant frequency. Your power isn't in what you do, it's in who you are, being as you do it. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to type 777 in the comments below. This number sequence represents divine alignment and perfect timing. It's a vibrational code that signals your readiness to shift from seeking to being, from chasing to allowing. When you comment with this number, you're not just engaging with a video, you're declaring your alignment with the frequency of effortless manifestation. And as our community grows, this collective intention amplifies the field for everyone. There's power in numbers, not just metaphorically, but energetically. Your comment becomes part of a collective frequency that supports everyone who encounters it. It's a small action that creates ripples in the quantum field, affecting possibilities far beyond what you might imagine. There is nothing to wait for. All versions of reality already exist in the quantum field. The version where you are vibrationally aligned with everything you desire isn't a future possibility. It's a present potential existing alongside countless others. Manifestation isn't something you create through force or strategy. It's something you tune into through vibrational alignment. Think of parallel timelines or vibrationally adjacent worlds. Your consciousness is constantly shifting between these potentials based on your dominant frequency. When you change your vibrational state, you naturally shift into the timeline that matches that state. This isn't magical thinking. It's how reality functions at the quantum level. Your consciousness is the tuning mechanism that determines which potential reality becomes your experienced reality. You cannot fake this process. You cannot pretend to feel abundant while anchoring yourself in scarcity. You cannot affirm love while embodying fear. The quantum field doesn't respond to your words or even your conscious intentions. It responds to your actual vibrational frequency, the sum total of your conscious and unconscious patterns. This is why surface-level practices often fail to produce significant results. The quantum field isn't fooled by ritualistic behavior that isn't accompanied by genuine energetic shift. Your power lies not in what you say or do, but in the vibration underlying your thoughts, feelings, and actions. This is both challenging and liberating. Challenging because it requires genuine inner transformation, and liberating because it means you don't have to perfect your external actions. You only need to shift your inner state, and appropriate action will follow naturally. I invite you to make this more than just a video you watched. Make it a portal of frequency that you stepped through. Let this be a marker in your journey where you shifted from seeking to being, from chasing manifestation to embodying it. You are not alone in this journey. We are a field, a wave, a movement of consciousness evolving together. The very fact that you are drawn to this message is evidence that you're already aligned with its frequency. Remember that manifestation isn't something you learn, it's something you remember. It's your natural state of being to create reality through your consciousness. You are not becoming powerful. You already are. You are not learning to create. You're remembering that you've been creating all along. The only question is whether you'll create consciously or by default. If you found value in this message, please share it with others who might benefit, subscribe to join our community, and most importantly, begin living as the version of yourself who has already manifested everything you desire.